Alright, so today we're going to be installing the JS alternator. So what we're going to need is a 12 millimeter to take the nut off right there. We're also going to be using a 15 millimeter for that bolt right there and that bolt right there. We also have a 14 millimeter that's going to be going in that bolt right there, and then a shallow 15 for the tensioner. Alright, let's get started. So first we're going to take this power lead off. I did not disconnect the battery. I do this daily for a job, not alternators, but just technicians, so I tend to know to be very careful with this. You're going to want to disconnect this from your battery. If you end up laying this on anything that is ground, it will burn up. You don't want that. So I'll take and I wrap them in electric tape, and I wrap them pretty good so that they don't touch anything. And that looks good. Both of these go to my battery. I'm just keeping the smaller one because it also goes to my fuse block, and I kind of want to keep that on here in original. That way the fuse block's still getting its power. Technically it's getting it from two different spots, but alright. So now we'll unplug our wire for the regulator and the PCM, and we're done with that. On to removing the belt. So on these you'll use the 15 millimeter on the ribbed pulley, and you will want to go clockwise and get you loose. And now we're off. Now we're going to use the 14, and I'm going to just loosen this. And actually I believe some of these are 13. I put a 14 in mine just because that was the bolt I had after my last replacement. I think I actually lost it during an engine swap. So we got that off. Now on to our 14s. Or actually those are 15s. That was the 14. Awesome. I also don't advise putting your bolts or tools or anything on the battery. It's a good way to short stuff out. Again, I'm just going loose with it here. Also, the bolt won't reach, but you can short out the battery by setting things on it that are metal. So just keep that in mind. Awesome. Now, let me grab a pry bar. Works really good for this. Sometimes they come off pretty easy, sometimes they don't. This is where the pinch nut kind of wedges it in there. That's where it resides. So it is going to naturally be a little tight there. And there she is. The stock alternator is now out. And in with the JS. You want to make sure that everything lines up before you put any torque into any of the bolts. You don't want to go to tighten everything down except for one bolt and find out that it just won't work. Again, I'm hooking my power lead directly up to the alternator. Well, my ground lead and power lead. Cool. Looks like everything is going to bolt up just fine. Now to tighten up my 15s. I'm going to tighten up this just bolt that doesn't go into the pinch nut before I tighten up the pinch nut. I also am going to torque down the ground bolt, the rear bolt there, before I torque the pinch nut. Now we're good to tighten this down. And then we can torque the pinch nut. Awesome. And yes, my plug is broken. I did order a new one. My plan is to install this. I want to add an external adjustable regulator. The plan is I'm going to run a second alternator, and when I do, I'm going to have this one running just my amplifier and battery bank in the rear, and the other alternator should be running my vehicle and all my vehicle electronics. And again, I advise that you actually disconnect your battery and not do this with electric tape. Obviously, I haven't shorted anything out yet, but I have in the past. So I just advise that you not do it this way and to just disconnect your battery. It's going to be the best thing for your work that you're doing here. Like I said, I do this daily. Not necessarily alternators or batteries, but this is what I do for a living. I fix people's cars. Cool. And we are now on our way to having an alternator installed. There you have it, a JS alternator on the vehicle. Now let's hope that the belt I ordered is right. Because if it's not, I have to switch this all back out. And I don't think that would be much fun. So let's hope that one form that I found this on is right. And it appears to be about that ½ inch shorter. A ½ inch to actually it looks almost like an inch. So there is a difference here. Oh man. Let's see if I can get this hooked up real quick. No. And again, we use a 15 millimeter to move the tensioner. Oh, it's so close. There it is. I think that's going to do it. And again, if I can get a focus here, this will be for the Mopar 3.7 or 4.7, including the high output belt part number with the JS alternator. I believe they put these in the Liberties, the Durango, and that is the 3747 variation. So let's see if it'll run. There it is, folks. Installed, functioning. Now for a voltage regulator. Hope everybody enjoyed. Have a good day.